in page 76, and it's in part A, the second paragraph. It's written, Shayach leot Aleph, Zivchei Elokim Ruach Nishbara. The sacrifices that we are sacrificing for Hashem Yitbarach, it's Ruach Nishbara, it's a broken spirit, Shishvirat HaDimyon, that to break the imaginations that we have, Hem HaKorbanot, this is the sacrifices. Actually, when a person has an imagination that you have to achieve something huge in his life, and he wants to be rich, he wants to buy a villa, and now we understand, we realize that he needs to sacrifice that for his Avodat Hashem, because he wants to live in Beis Israel, close to the yeshiva, and not build a villa in Beis Israel. So he needs to sacrifice his backyard, his swimming pool. So, this is the sacrifices. וזה בחינת סמיכה על קורבנות, and it's an aspect of doing the smicha on the korbanot, on the sacrifices. כי הקורבנות מביאים מבהמות, because the sacrifices, we're bringing them from the animals, שהם בחינת כוח המדמה, that they are an aspect of imaginations, because the animals, they have imaginations, and this is what that leads them in their life. It's the imagination. They have to eat now. This is it. They're going to tear the fence, they're going to break the wall, they're going to do whatever, because they have to eat. This is it. They have to eat. Actually, they don't have to eat. But they feel like they have to. They imagine that they have to. כי הבהמה, because the animal, יש לה גם כן כוח המדמה. She's got imaginations. וכשאדם הולך אחר המדמה שבלב, and when the person is walking after the imaginations that he's got in his heart, דהיינו, it means, אחר תאוותיו חס ושלום, means after his desires חס ושלום, שבאים מכוח המדמה, that are coming from the power of imagination, זהו מעשה בהמה ממש. It's an act of animals, and this is it. When you're walking after your imaginations, you're acting like an animal. And me too, also. If a person is walking after his imaginations, after his desires and lusts, he's acting like an animal. Like he doesn't control it himself at all. כי גם הבהמה יש לה כוח המדמה. ועל כן, and this is why, כשאדם חוטא חס ושלום, when a person is sinning חס ושלום, וכל החטאים באים על ידי כוח המדמה, and all of the sins are coming because of imaginations, שמשם נמשכים כל התאוות, that from there all of the lusts and desires are being pulled. על כן, this is why הוא צריך להביא קורבן מבהמות. He needs to sacrifice from the animals. His sacrifices are coming from the animals. וצריך לסמוך עליו, and he should put his hands on that animal. ולהתוודות כל חטאיו, and to admit and to make a vidui, to confess on all of his avonot. על הקורבן, on the animal, on the sacrifice, בשעת הסמיכה, when he is keeping that mitzvah of smicha. ועל ידי זה, and by that, נמשכים כל החטאים, וכל כוח המדמה. Actually, he is removing all of the sins and all of the power of imagination from himself to the animal, back to the place that it belonged to, on the animal. על הבהמה, שהיא בחינת המדמה, מדמה כנ"ל, that she is an aspect of power of imagination. ואחר כך, and after it, תכף לסמיכה שחיטה. Immediately after that you're doing the smicha, then it's the time to slaughter that animal, to kill that animal. Actually, to cancel the imaginations. ושוחטין הבהמה לקורבן, and sacrificing, slaughtering and sacrificing the animal to become to be the sacrifice. ועל ידי זה נכנע ונשבר המדמה, and by that you conquered and breaking the imagination. How a person gonna do it in his life? When a person sees that he's got a huge yetzirah on nonsense, on lusts and desires, on BMW, on women, on money, on honor, on shtuyot, then he should understand that it's coming from his animal side. So he needs to separate, to make a difference between him to his Yetzer Hara. And he should say to himself, this is coming from my Yetzer Hara. It belongs to the side of my body, to the animal side, to the Yetzer Hara. It doesn't belong to my soul, it doesn't belong to me. You're not allowed to slaughter yourself, to chase after yourself, to blame yourself and to hate yourself on your avonot. Just you have to judge yourself to kaf zchut, to understand I have an animal side in myself. This is part of my creation. Nolan created human beings that they have three things like animals and three things like the angels. So my Yetzer Hara is coming from an animal side. So now you are separating and you understand I have that lust, that craziness, I'm acting like an animal on that situation, I don't think, I'm running, I'm getting crazy, I'm getting angry, I'm acting like an animal. So it's coming from my animal side, it's coming from my behemah, from my Yetzer Hara. When you're doing that, actually, it's like the Korban HaSmicha. And then you can slaughter that. You're killing it instead of killing yourself. Because people that are blaming themselves on their avonot and on their Yetzer Hara, they're just helping the Yetzer Hara to kill them, to kill themselves. Just helping the Yetzer Hara to kill a Jew. You need to realize that a Jew is made out of spiritual, beautiful light. You're a Neshama Elokit. And you cannot blame a Neshama Elokit on no sin. Just a Neshama Elokit have a Yetzer Hara. And the Yetzer Hara is attempting the Neshama to come and to sin. Like that Rav Shalom said before of Lag BaOmer, that it's written on Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai that he's got the ability to exempt all of the world from judgment, from a deed, at all, totally. And the Rav Shalom explained that he brought a Gemarot on that, and there is a Gemara that there was a goy, I think that he asked Rabbi Yehuda Nasi on that, but I'm not sure. A goy asked a question to one of the tzaddikim, and he asked him, he had a question, he told him, look, the neshama can find an excuse, an answer, why Borei Olam, why the court cannot blame her on no avon. And also the body of the person can claim something the same, that he's going to be clean also from all guilt, from all of the avonot. Why? Because the neshama can say, I haven't done nothing without the body. I'm pure. The body, he is contaminated. He took me. I don't have no legs. He took me to do the avonot. It's his fault. And the body can say the same. I can not do nothing without the neshama. Here, take the neshama for me. You're going to see that I cannot move a finger. So, there is no one to blame. The body, you cannot punish it. The neshama, you cannot punish it. So what you're going to do? So I think that it was Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, if I'm not wrong. He answered. He said, there was a king. He said a tale. He told him, that goy a tale. He told him there was a king, that he had a wonderful field with wonderful trees, with wonderful, tasty, very tasteful fruits. And he wanted someone to guard that that field. But he was afraid that the guard gonna eat from the fruits. He didn't want them to eat. He knew the taste of those fruits. They're going to ruin all of the fruit. Even one guard can ruin all of that fruit, for sure. So what he done? He took two guards. One of them, he was blind. And the second one, he was crippled with no legs. Crippled, you said? With no legs. And he put them together. Now, the one with no legs cannot go and take nothing. And the one that is blind doesn't know where to go. So they were sitting and guarding the field. After a few hours, the crippled one is saying to the blind one, listen, there is an amazing fruits here in this field. We have to taste from them. We cannot leave it all for the king. So the blind told him, look, I would be very happy, but I don't know where to look. So the crippled one told him, take me on your back, I'm going to sit on your shoulders, and I'm going to tell you where to walk to. And I'm going to pick the fruits, I'm going to give you to eat, and I'm going to eat myself, and this is it. It's party. So they done that deal. After a few months, the king came to the field. He saw it's all empty. After harvest, This is it. No fruits on the trees. 2 fat guards are sitting in the entrance, smiling with yellow faces. And so he wanted to judge them. So he judged the blind one. He asked him, "You 2 kids?" He said, "I couldn't take nothing. I'm blind. I cannot pick from the trees." So he came to the crippled one. He told him, "You were the one. You." He said, "I couldn't move from my seat. I was sitting in the same chair that you gave me." So what the king done? The king put the body, the blind, the crippled one on the shoulder of the blind one and judged them together. So Rabbi Yehuda Nasi answered to that guy, and he told him, in Judgment Day, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is taking the person and he's bonding the neshama to the body again, and then he's judging them. He's not judging them separated, he's bonding them together, and then he's judging them. And now Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, that on him we were talking, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, he's the one that said that he can exempt all of the world from the judgments, from dinim. Why? Because Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, he's got halacha in Shabbos. In Shabbat, if you have a certain melacha work in Shabbos that you're not allowed to do, that it's too hard for one person to do by himself, and 2 people should do it together. So, Rabbanan are saying that chayav, even on half melacha. But Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai is saying patur. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai is saying exempt on half melacha. If you couldn't do it by yourself, you're exempt. So actually, in that limud, Rabbi Shimon, if the neshama alone couldn't sin, he's exempting him. And if the body himself couldn't do it alone, he's exempting him also. This is why Rabbi Shimon's got the power to exempt all of the world from judgment. So us, for our Avodat Hashem, we need to attach ourselves to those tzaddikim that giving us solutions. You have to understand that you have a neshama that is separated from your body. You have one neshama that's got a certain nature, that is all good. You have a body that has got a nature also that is thick, that he wants to eat, he wants to rest, he wants everything. So that body, he's got his nature also. You have to separate those 2 powers. You have to realize that in your Avodat Hashem. Each and every one of us have to concentrate to separate between those 2 powers. Rabbeinu is bringing to us another part, Rabbi Natan, in that attached to the Torah, Shayach Le'ot Bet Gimel, that part is attached to the 2nd and the 3rd paragraph on Torah Kaf Hei. מבואר שם, it's been explained it over there, שכשאדם נעתק ממדרגה למדרגה, that when a person is climbing from one level to the next one, אז צריך לו ללך, so he should go through דרך אלו הדמיונות, through those imaginations, כדי להגיע אל הקדושה. If he wants to find the קדושה in the end. Every person, before he's entering into the קדושה, he have to go through imaginations. through יצר הרע. ותכף כשעולה למדרגה השנייה, and immediately when the person is climbing to the 2nd floor, to the 2nd level, אזי נתעוררין הקליפות, so then the husks and the shells are waking up, שבמדרגה, that they are existing that new floor, ומסבבין אותו, and they are surrounding him. וצריך להכניע אותם מחדש, and he should conquer them again, וכולי, עיין שם, like we learned. ואף על פי שכבר נשבר הקליפה, and even though that husk and those shells already been broken, been ruined by the first person that was in that level before of you, you saw a level, you had a desire to achieve that level. When you climbed to that level, you pushed up the person that was already in that level. So even though that person already ruined and break and ruined the husks of that 2nd floor, still they are waking up again on the person that just now came to that level. אף על פי כן, but even though, כשפנימיות של העליון, when the inner side of the higher one, of the higher person, נעתק משם, is moving up from that level. Vechitzoniyut, ufnimiyut, this is the same tikkun that we had before. Ufnimiyut, and the inner side, hatachton ole, of the lower one is climbing to that level. Like we said, that every person have inner side and external side. What?
Internal and external.
You can say 200 times in an argument. Outside, it's okay?
Outside, inside.
Outside. Inside and outside. So we said that the inner side is climbing. Also yours, and also for the one that is climbing, you're the same. You have the same nature. Everyone, his inner side is climbing and climbing. So azai, so then, haklipa chozer veneor v'chule ayen sham. So those husks are waking up and attacking, like we learned. Ve'amar az bezeh halashon. And then Rabbeinu said those words. Those are very important words that I told you a few times, Baruch Hashem, until today. Uvazeh to'in hachasidim harbe. And in that thing, a lot of the Hasidim are mistaken. Shepit'om nidme lahem. That suddenly it looks like it for them. It seems like shenaflu me'avodat Hashem. That they fell from their avodat Hashem. Ube'emet ein ze nefila klal. But actually they were not falling at all. רק מחמת שצריכים לעלות ממדרגה למדרגה. Just only because that you should climb from one floor to the next one. ואז, and then, מתעוררים ומתגברים מחדש הקליפות. Those husks are waking up and fighting again. שהם התאוות והבלבולים. That they are the imaginations and desires. והדמיונות, all kinds of imaginations. והמחשבות and the thoughts, bad thoughts. והמניעות and problems, blocking, stops that you have in your Avodat Hashem canal. Like we learned. Al ken, this is why. Because you climbed. Not because you failed. Because you climbed to the next one. This is why צריכים להתגבר בכל פעם מחדש. We should find new powers again and again. לחזור, to go back, to fight. ולהכניע, and to conquer. ולשבר, and to break. הקליפות והמניעות וכולי. The husks and the stoppings and the blockings that we have in Avodat Hashem. שבכל מדרגה ומדרגה מחדש. In every floor and floor, again and again in Avodat Hashem. אבל באמת, and really, אין זה נפילה כלל כנ"ל. He's not falling at all. A person that's just going to take that advice in Avodat Hashem from Rabbeinu HaKadosh going to see that this is it. You cannot beat him. How you said that? Unbeatable. בלתי מנוצח. You cannot beat him. You cannot harm him in nothing. In every situation that he's falling, for him it's not a falling. The Yetzer Hara is pushing him. He's saying thank you to Hashem Yitbarach. Rav Shalom said that his Yetzer Hara got depression out of him, not he got depression from the Yetzer Hara. His Yetzer Hara is in depression. He's saying whatever he's doing to me, I'm saying thank you to Hashem Yitbarach on that. I'm always happy, no matter what. It just depends in your faith. How much you believe in that wisdom of Rabbi Nachman of Breslev that is saying to you that you cannot fall in Avodat Hashem at all. In every mitzvah and mitzvah that we're keeping, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is saying to us on that, the Rabbanan taught us, Asher kideshanu b'mitzvotav, that Hashem is making us holier and holier in every mitzvah and mitzvah that we're keeping. So actually, there is mitzvah that you're keeping even without your thinking about it. You just stay in Eretz Israel, you're just wearing tzitzit, you have a beard, you're not shaving your peot. It's a mitzvah that you're keeping all of the time. Just don't shave your peot, just don't shave your beard with a razor. You just wear a shirt, you wear a pants, it's a mitzvah. For a Jew, it's a mitzvah. If he's not doing it, so it's an averah. So if you're just dressed, if you're just washing your face, you're doing netilat yadayim, you're just getting into the shower, cutting your fingernails, it's all mitzvot. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is making you more holy and more holy through every mitzvah and mitzvah that you're keeping. So actually you're growing and growing in your Avodat Hashem just by breathing. So there is no falling. So why you have Yetzer Hara now in your Avodat Hashem? Because you climb to a new, huge level. Because Borei Olam want to bring you, רצה הקדוש ברוך הוא, wanted הקדוש ברוך הוא לזכות את ישראל, to give the merit to עם ישראל, לפיכך, this is why, הרבה להם תורה ומצוות, he gave them a lot of תורה ומצוות, tons of mitzvot, every moment. If you're smiling to a Jew, you're keeping a mitzvah. Even if you're smiling to a goy, you're ma'ir panim lechol adam, it's a mitzvah. You're light to the nations, light to the goyim. Just by smiling, just by being normal. This is keeping so many mitzvot. Shayach לעוד gimel. The new part that Rabbi Nachman is bringing to us that is attached to the third part in the Torah Kafei, ודע, and you should know, שאין שני בני אדם שווים וכולי, that there is no two people that are equal, נמצא. From that we learn, כשאחד רוצה לעלות ממדרגתו, when a person wants to climb from his level, למדרגה עליונה יותר, to a higher level than that, אזי הולך ונעתק, so then he's actually pushing up, the person, האדם, העומד באותה מדרגה העליונה, that is already standing in that level that you want to achieve. והולך ונעתק למדרגה יותר עליונה וכולי. And you're pushing him toward to the next level, to the next flow. ואמר אז בזה הלשון. So then Rabbeinu said those words. וזה בחינת הרמה. It's an aspect of lifting, that you're lifting your friend. מה שאחד מרים ומגביה את חברו, that one person is lifting his friend to the next flow. כי על ידי שזה האדם, because by that fact that that person שבמדרגה התחתונה, that was in the lower level, עלה מדרגה לדרגה, he climbed from his level to the new one, על ידי זה, by that, actually he was rising, והרים and lifting, את חברו, his friend, שבמדרגה העליונה, that was in a higher level, לעלות למעלה עליונה יותר, to push his friend to a higher level. This is something so spiritual that is not logic at all, because you can lift someone that is lower than you. How can you lift someone that is higher than you? You cannot. He's heavier than you, he's bigger than you. And actually soon now Rabbeinu going to say, you're not pushing only him, you're pushing 6 million Jews that are 600,000 Jews that are above you. What you do? So everyone have the ability to push everyone. וכן חברו דחברו הגבוה עוד יותר. And also your friend, he's actually pushing his friend that is higher than him. מחברו עלה עוד יותר למעלה. He climbed also one floor up. וכן למעלה. And until the heights. כי אי אפשר שיהיו שני בני אדם במדרגה אחת כנ"ל. Because it's impossible that two people are going to hold the same level. אחר שאמר, Rabbi Nachman is telling us that after that Rabbeinu said those words, that Torah, אחר שאמר מאמר הנ"ל, ושם מכנה, and there Rabbeinu is calling, וקורא, כל תאוות היצר הרע, and he's calling all of the desires and lusts of the יצר הרע, בשם כוח המדמה. He called that the power of imagination. אמר אז, he said then, צריכים לקרוא לו ולכנות לו שם אחר. We should make a שינוי שם to the יצר הרע. רבנו made שינוי שם, החלפת שם to the יצר הרע. He was changing the name of the יצר הרע. This is it. היינו לבעל דבר, to the one that is סטרא אחרא, to the one that have things to say all of the time. והיצר הרע, and the יצר הרע, צריכים לקרות אותו בשם אחר. We should replace his name. We should change his name. דהיינו, it means, שלא לקרותו עוד בשם יצר הרע. Not to call him יצר הרע anymore. He's not the יצר הרע. He's not the יצר הרע, bad will again anymore. רק בשם כוח המדמה. Just we should call him the power of the imagination. ואמר זאת בדרך שחוק. And Rabbeinu, he was joking about it. He was laughing when he was saying that. אבל הבנתי, but Rabbi Nachman is saying, but I understood, שהיה לו בזה כוונה שלמה, that he had a complete meaning in that. Actually, he removed the power from the Yetzer Hara that he had before of being reality to become to be just imagination. Because by calling someone in his name, this is his nature. And when Rabbeinu made the Shinui Shem, changed the name of the Yetzer Hara, he changed his nature. And now he is only the power of imagination. He cannot force you into nothing because Rabbeinu changed his name. Rabbi Nachman is saying, "Velo zachiti le'avin kavanato bazeh," and I couldn't understand all of his intention on that wonderful thing that he done. Wonderful. So, finish Torah Cafe.